So this Texas shooter that obviously that's been flooding the news, and whether you're just watching the news on TV or you're on X or whatever, you're seeing the shooting where this guy Joshua John, I believe his last name is, basically open fired on this ICE van, I believe it was, and killed two migrants or killed one migrant, something like that, injured three, and then apparently wrote anti-ice on the bullets there from what they're giving us. So I'll go off that. Uh, I mean, it's crazy thing to do. Whether the right is just trying to blame it off, rip off the other side. I try to look at it in depth, and what we really know is that he was a registered independent. His brother said he was apolitical, even though he did vote in a Texas primary in 2020. That was a long time ago, 5 years. So you can't really say he's a Democrat. He was registered independent. And, whatever the situation is, the right tries to twist it into something that'll fit their narrative, no matter how hard it is, no matter what the situation is, they'll try to twist it into their narrative. So, for example, this guy is born in Texas, deep red state, and was familiar with guns, I believe. And another just side note, it's way too easy to get guns, especially here in the South. As a person living in the South, I could go up the street and buy an AR, no problem. It would take me, 10 minutes. They wouldn't check anything besides if I'm of age, and that's it. You'd be able to go. And even though this guy's criminal record is not much, I think it was just one misdemeanor for a weed charge, so really nothing. I don't think it would have stopped him from getting a gun, but it probably would have helped some just to know that in your head it'd be a hassle to go get a gun. But in this situation, I'll admit that I don't think that it would have been very hard for this specific man to go get a gun in this specific situation. But back to the topic at hand, where they try to twist this narrative is because they'll say that they'll look at the person who it is and say, oh, they voted in a primary 4 years ago. He's a Democrat, and if the person was trans, they'd hammer him on trans or something like that. But when it's this white man, sorry for the lighting here. When it's this white man, you don't hear about his upbringings or anything like that. But once in a blue moon, when that black man killed the Ukrainian woman in North Carolina, I believe it was. It was this big ordeal. Black people this, black people that. The judge was black. Black crime this, black fatherless this. But when it's this really back to back, almost 1 week back to back, there's a white man that shot the migrants and ICE detainee. That was yesterday. There was the white school shooter in Colorado. There was the white school or killer of Charlie Kirk. And you don't hear any of white crime. Why is this white crime upticking? Because there's an uptick. I mean, there's been multiple school shootings. They're always white men. I mean, almost always white men. Not always. Probably 99% of the time, though. You don't hear a peep out of the right. For example, the Charlie Kirk shooter, Tyler Robinson, they tried to push this thing that he was trans off rip, which was obviously not true, but they were trying to push that out. And you'd have people on Nancy Mace immediately, like people like Nancy Mace immediately saying, this shooter needs to be condemned. He needs to be the death penalty and, and whatever else, whatever egregious thing you can do to a man, you want it done to this person who shot Charlie Kirk. When it was this white Christian man that grew up in Utah, then she said, oh man, Charlie Kirk would have prayed for this man. Charlie Kirk would have if he would have talked to Charlie Kirk, he would have been saved. God, pray for this man. And then, I mean, it's just the obvious favoritism. And It's so easy to call out, and they need to, it's my job to call out the hypocrisy, because it's obviously insane that these people are just, the favoritism is just insane. I have a perfect picture that depicts this, so let's look at that depiction. Hold on. It is here. If the shooter turns out to be Hispanic, we need to build a wall. If they're Arab, ban the Muslims, like Donald Trump has said before. Black Lives Matter are terrorists, and they'll try to ban whatever other groups there are pertaining to these ethnic groups. And then you see here, when it's the white shooters, we need to ask ourselves, how are we as a society failing these poor troubled young men? What kinds of movies, video games, and music are we making? So it's like, when they're white, they'll trash whatever they're doing, but when they're black, Hispanic, or Arab, it's literally just a cultural thing. Like I literally know people that think that it's just, oh, black people are just culturally or naturally dangerous. But when it's the white people, oh, it's a video game. Like, what? That's absolutely insane. And this is legitimately how they think. They think like this. Like, you've seen Donald Trump, for whatever reason, they say, ban the Muslims, ban the Muslims. And he had like a specific Muslim ban in 2016. It wasn't a ban on all Muslims, but it was from specific countries or whatever it was, right? But at first he said he wanted a Muslim ban, just to make that clear. And then, with the we all know the classic demonization of Latinos and people in Mexico. Build the wall. We need to build the wall. The wall needs to be painted black. That's what we need to do. We need to build the wall higher. Donald Trump and his bullshit. Trying to depict, or really just say that Latinos, people coming from the southern border, are inherently dangerous. And how many times have we been hit with the Lake and Riley story a million times? Oh, look how dangerous. They're so dangerous. Look at what they did to Lake and Riley. It was literally one girl, and obviously what happened to her was egregious and insane. And that guy, I don't even know what happened to that guy. I hope he's in jail for the rest of his life. But to say that you're trying to make this whole ethnic group like this, make them out to be these demons, are insane. This is literally a dumb way of thinking. I don't know how else to say it, but a lot of people believe it, and obviously the black people as well. This has been going on for hundreds of years. For the black people, how they're dangerous and they're fatherless. Or whatever it may be, especially from the late Charlie Kirk. He wants to hammer away at this, and then ironically, his shooter is white. So when are we going to start talking about these white shooters, and how they're so strategically trying to kill, whether it be children or whether it be anybody, just ICE, and like even from me who hates ICE. I mean, shooting ICE officers or shooting the migrants are insane, but you're trying to strategically murder these people, and it's just insane, man. And there's an obvious uptick of these shootings. Like I said, almost back to back to back. The three shootings I named: Charlie Kirk, ICE, and what was the other one? Charlie Kirk, ICE. I forgot the other one already, but the school shooting. Sorry. Yeah. I mean that's the. Can we start talking about that, guys, or is it just the black people? It's just the black people, right? Have you asked the Republicans? It's obviously just the black people. It's these are just a couple bad apples, and it's because of the video games. But it's obviously the main crime here are the black people, and it's just them being black people. It's not the video games. It's not anything. It's simply fatherless and black people. That's it. So that's simply insane, and I'm here to call it the hypocrisy, and there you go. So I'm gonna end it there, guys. I'm gonna have all my links to my socials down below, and also link to if you want to donate to independent media like myself. I'm going to start uploading more videos. I just had to get some new Wi-Fi. That's why it's been real slow on the videos. But yeah, I'm gonna be uploading more. Sorry about this light, and thank you.